Hi Adorners, welcome back to Adornment with Adrienne. Tonight I'm going to be making a Copycat Zuppa Toscana from Olive Garden. If you're interested, please keep watching, and welcome back to Adornment with Adrienne. Hi Adorners, welcome back. Tonight I'm making some Zuppa Toscana. This is a Copycat recipe my sisters and we've been using for quite a while now, and I thought I would share it. I've gone ahead and cut up some sliced bacon, and I have it in my pot here. It's cooking up already. I have some turkey sausage. All right, this is turkey breakfast sausage, but it's something that I like to use. I have some whole potatoes that I'm going to be slicing up with the skins on. All right, and then I have a white onion that I'm going to cook up with the bacon here in just a minute. Some garlic, some chicken broth. This is actually low sodium chicken broth. And then we're going to be using some kale. All right, some fresh kale. We're going to chop it and put it in. And we have, of course, a little bit of heavy cream. So I'm going to go ahead and cook up the bacon, and I will be right back. Okay, Adorners, so we're going to crisp up this bacon. This would be like using a pancetta, all right, if you're in a different country, I guess. All right, so we're going to let this cook up. And while that is doing, and while the bacon is cooking up, I'm going to go ahead and slice up our potatoes. Okay, Adorners, so while I've already washed and cleaned these potatoes, I'm cutting them into like circles here, okay? Not really, really thin, because when I want them to be, not to completely fall apart in our soup, okay, when we make this. All right, so, I'm cutting it into maybe 1/4 inch rounds with the skin still on, all right? And our bacon is cooking up so nice. I'm gonna add in some oregano, some white onion, some salt and pepper, and I'm gonna put in some of our turkey sausage, okay, as well. Okay, Adorners, so I'm just gonna slice or chop just in large chunks a bit of white onion, and I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it in along with some Italian seasoning. This is oregano. Gonna shake that in. That's going in with our bacon, and we're gonna let that cook up, all right? And I'll be right back. So I have about 1/3 of my sausage, and I'm just gonna kind of break it up and put it in a pan here for it to cook up with our bacon and our onions and our oregano. All right, and we're gonna let that cook up for a bit, and I'll be right back. Okay, Adorners, so I am going to turn this down just a little bit, and we have quite a bit of oil, excess oil, all right, from our bacon. And I'm just gonna scoop some out. You don't necessarily need all that oil. Okay, Adorners, so I've gone ahead and cooked up our bacon and our sausage. I have a little bit of minced garlic, fresh garlic, that I'm gonna put in, add a little garlic in. I've already added in some oregano. All right, and now I'm gonna go ahead and add in my chicken stock. All right, I would say this is probably about 3 to 4 cups. All right. Go ahead and add that in. This is a low sodium formula. All right, I'm just gonna use the whole thing today. All right, so that's in. All right, and now it's time to add in our potatoes. Remember, we sliced our potatoes about 1/4 inch thick. In they go. All right. I like a lot of potato in mine. You know, I like to have a lot of potato. All right, if you don't like as many potatoes in yours, I would suggest maybe using 3 whole potatoes. But if you have a lot of people that you're going to be trying to feed with this, I would suggest having more potatoes, and that way everyone can have some. Okay, Adorners, so I've washed and cleaned a whole bunch of fresh kale, and I am going to chop it, give it a slight chop, and put it in as well. And I'll be right back. Okay, Adorners, this is a great recipe that you can actually leave out what you don't want. Okay, or you could add in different things that you might want. I have a whole bunch of kale, but the kale is gonna, you know, it cooks down. Almost like a greens would cook down. Alright. Just giving this, I've rinsed this already. I'm just giving it a fresh chop. Alright. And I want all of the kale. I really like it in there. So I'm just gonna giving it like a chopping it each leaf in like a thirds. And I'm gonna increase my temperature a little bit, and I'm gonna let this come to a boil. And we're gonna add in some salt and pepper, and maybe about 2 cups more of 2 to 4 cups more of water. And let this cook down, and then we'll add in some heavy cream. All right, and I'll be back. Okay, Adorner, so I've added in my whole bunch of kale. All right, and you can hear it's starting to boil. Because I don't like a lot of extra broth in my soup because I want it to be really hearty. Okay, Adorner, so you can hear our soup starting to boil. All right, you see our kale is shrinking down. It might seem like, wow, it's a lot of kale, but it's just like when you're cooking collard greens. If you cook greens or mustard greens or turnip greens, anything like that, it will kind of just wilts down into the pot, doesn't it? Okay, and so it's not as much as it appeared to be in the beginning. Okay, so I'm gonna add some fresh cracked pepper to this. I like cracked pepper, do you? All right, years ago, I used to go with my grandmother when she was alive to Olive Garden. We used to get soup and salad when they first started out, and we all loved this soup so much. My sisters and I, we came up with the recipe of how to make it, and we saw different people using it and making it online, and so we started making it ourselves because we loved it so much, you know. And we don't want to have to go to, not that we don't love Olive Garden. Mad love to Olive Garden, but we don't have to go every time. This is a little pink Himalayan sea salt. Just gonna add that in. Remember, we had that sausage and we had the bacon. We took most of the oil out, but there still was a lot. Okay, now you could add in seasoned salt if you wanted to. I don't think I'm gonna do that today. What I am gonna add in is a little bit more oregano at this time. And I'm also gonna add in some garlic powder. Let me get it, I'll be right back. So you can see our kale has wilted all the way down into the pot now. All right, you could add bouillon to this if you wanted to, a bouillon cube. I have about 2 to 4 cups of water. I'm just gonna go ahead and add that in. Okay, Adorners, I'm gonna add in about a half a cup of heavy cream. You don't have to add this in, but it's part of the, it's actually part of the soup, okay? This is a recipe that you can use. You don't have to use bacon if you don't want to. You can just start off with some onions. Okay, Adorners, so I've gone ahead and purchased some pre-made garlic, Parmesan flavored breadsticks so we can continue the Olive Garden tradition. All right, I'm gonna let this soup cook up for a bit, and then I'll add my breadsticks to the oven, and I'll be back. Okay, Adorners, I've set a time for about 20 minutes, and I'll be back. I'm gonna go ahead and cook up our breadsticks. Okay, Adorners, so we've cooked up our soup. It smells amazing in the house. Okay, and what I think I would like to do is I am gonna go ahead and, I'm in the camera, I'm gonna go ahead and add in a pinch more of our salt. I tasted this just a little bit, and remember I did use low sodium chicken broth. So I'm gonna add in a little bit more while our breadsticks are cooking up. As you can see, this is a hearty soup. And it really didn't take more than an hour to prepare, honestly. Adorners, this is something that you could really make for the holidays. You have guests probably coming over, and they might be visiting for a few days. If it's chilly, this is something that you can make and everyone will love it. I can change the recipe according to, you know, people's likes. If they don't eat meat, or meat, I would say maybe substitute a plant-based sausage crumble. I use breakfast turkey sausage, but you can use Italian sausage for this, okay? And usually that's what they do use. They use an Italian sausage, a sweet, mild Italian sausage. But for me, it's just more economical to use turkey sausage, breakfast sausage. I like the way it tastes, and it gives me the same. Just letting my breadsticks cook up. I'm gonna put some of these seasonings away, and I'll be right back. All right, Adorners, I'm gonna go ahead and turn our soup off. I have my ladle. I'm gonna go ahead and ladle out some of our soup. Oh my God, I love it so much. Get some potatoes. Let's see. Our potatoes are broken up, but they're not so broken up that you can't enjoy them. All right, one more scoop for me. All right, put my lid back on. My breadsticks ready, you can see. So here's our soup. Hey, Adorners, this is my Olive Gardens Zuppa Toscana. All right, at home. All right, it actually took maybe about an hour. This is something I love to make, and I hope that you enjoy making it as well. As always, thank you for joining me with Adornment with Adrienne. I am your girlfriend or your auntie of lifestyle and decor. And as always, instead of saying goodbye, I say saving hello for another time. See you in the next video. All right, can't wait to eat soup. Can't wait. Yes, soup, 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 soup. All right, see you in the next video.